let's move over to a little bit later on Thursday night in the West region. Number 6, or the 6 seed Missouri in that region, taking on the number 11 seed, the Drake Bulldogs, after winning Arch Madness. So they've had some time off entering this matchup. Maybe that's a part of your handicap here, but I know this is a game you're interested in discussing. Best price you're going to see on the board, at least as of Sunday night, Missouri -6.5, -105 over at BetMGM. Total pretty much a consensus of 133.5. An injury that we touched on off the top, Mark Mitchell, didn't play in Missouri's quarterfinal matchup of the SEC tournament. We talked about this off air. Likely would have played if it was an NCAA tournament game, so the line kind of reflects Mitchell being in. How do you handicap this one?
Yeah, Drake is a super unique team where they brought in, of course, Ben McCollum from Division II, and they run one of the most distinct styles in the country. They're last nationally in possession, in pace by a very wide margin. Their games average 58.8 possessions per game. There's no other team under 60, and it's not even particularly close. They run ball screen after ball screen after ball screen with Bennett Sturts up top, who's become an NBA draft prospect out of being a Division II player. And they'll do a lot of pick and roll with their big men, try to get the big men in some action. But Missouri is going to be ultra aggressive on every single ball screen. And this is the only way Drake knows how to run their offense. Bennett Sturts is going to see elite perimeter defender Anthony Robinson. And if it's not Robinson, it's going to be Tony Perkins, who's even bigger and more physical. And then he's going to get that big man, and Dennis Gates is going to rotate guy after guy after guy to get after him. And Drake has no bench. Brendan Sturts plays every single minute of every single game. He's going to get exhausted. Drake is an elite offensive rebounding team, and they'll get their second chances here. But if we're talking about shot volume, Missouri is number 2 in the entire country in free throw rate, and Drake finished bottom 3 in the Missouri Valley in free throws allowed. Missouri is going to live at the free throw line. And Drake's main source of offense is going to be doubled and beaten down constantly. Obviously, Drake slowing this down will make Missouri a little challenge in the half court. They'll need Caleb Grill, who's been a sharpshooter all season, to really hit some threes here. But it's just Drake's going to be taken out of their plan. And not to mention with those free throws, if they play 7 guys and 2 of them play the entire game, if Sturts picks up 2 quick fouls, then what? What happens?
I know this isn't the Tucker DeVries Drake team, but this will be the 3rd straight year where Drake doesn't win a first-round game. Now, I hope, well, if you end up tailing Matt, I hope it's not the opposite where Drake isn't covering for 99% of the game, and then they wind up covering and winning the game against Missouri. But I'm with you. Stylistically, this is a bad matchup for Drake, despite the fact that they have the rest advantage. Like you said, Missouri should live at the free throw line. They have the size advantage. They're not a great defensive rebounding team, 300th nationally in terms of the defensive rebounding rate. So like you said, Drake, despite the size disparity, should be able to get some of those second chance opportunities. But they rate 279th in turnover rate. Missouri and their ball pressure with Robinson, Tamar Bates too, who has really transformed at his game after transferring over from Indiana. If they turn Drake over, and Drake doesn't have the offense to come back in this game too. If Missouri gets off to a hot start, like you look at this and it's apples and oranges. If we go all the way back to when Virginia got upset in the first round, but Virginia did not have the offense to come back in that game because of the tempo that they play at and the type of offense they run. Drake dead last in tempo. How are you going to come back if Mizzou is turning you over in the half court? So how are you going to create offense? But if Mizzou is running and gunning and controlling the pace, Drake can't come back in this game.
Yeah.
All right. So we're on the same page with Missouri and Drake, at least in regards to Missouri advancing. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to pull the trigger on the Tigers, but I do like your luck and handicap for this matchup.